Welcome back. All right, so we're up to number 4 on the countdown. I want to go into Casey mode again. Anyways, I think people will be able to tell what day I recorded these on because my personality seems to change from one day to the next. Anyways, the Vegas Golden Knights have had a very good run throughout. 2017 2018 was their first year in the NHL. So you can see how there was some volatility in the beginning, but it's been pretty consistently good since then, other than injuries hitting and then missing the playoffs in 2022. But again, since then they've been in good health, and that's also something that's in the spotlight with them recently. A lot of injuries, but unlike back in 2021, 2022, they're doing well. They're overcoming those injuries. A lot of key guys who've been out. Now, fourth overall in the power rankings in the time that this channel's been doing power rankings is something. Of course, they won the Stanley Cup last year. The last video I just did, of course, on Colorado, they won the Stanley Cup as well. So, Cup winners in the top 5, and I only do power rankings during the regular season. I only mention this because people will say, well, power rankings, it doesn't matter come playoff time. And it doesn't. I'm not going to pretend that it does. We do see years that everybody gets upset in the first round, 2019 anybody. But in general, your better teams are usually going to be the ones that win the Stanley Cup. They've been in the top row 80 times, second row 54 times, third row 20 times, and in the bottom row 3 times. They don't spend very much time at the bottom, and there are people who don't like that because that's not how an expansion team's supposed to work. Well, Vegas doesn't understand how an expansion team's supposed to work. They're new to hockey. They don't know they were supposed to suck. So their first year, the average was 8.38 on the power rankings, which is insane. The second year, 13.88. They had a tougher time in the second year. 9.57, then 3, 14, 6.04, and this year the average has been 4.93. Now, the lowest they got this year is 15th. That's also the lowest they got last year in the power rankings. The last power rankings I did, January 20th, 11th on those power rankings. Their points percentage overall, 634. That is 5th. So they're good for 5th on the overall points percentage, 4th on my overall power rankings. Makes some sense. Their top scorer over this time, Marchessault, 481 games played, 175 goals, 213 assists, 388 points. Now, Jonathan Marchessault is an excellent player, and he's got a Conn Smythe Trophy to his resume now. Is he a Hall of Famer? I don't think so, but I say this because Vegas is a team that has done this largely without needing a superstar to do it, without needing that superstar forward who's, in the McKinnon, McDavid range. Eichel's very good, and Eichel's been excellent for them, but they didn't win the Cup because of Eichel. They won the Cup because of the team that's been put together. George McPhee deserves a lot of credit. Before they initially made their expansion picks, he mapped out the whole roster. Okay, first line, second line, third line, fourth line, defense, goaltending. And after trades were made with GMs before and after the expansion draft, he had the team he largely wanted, and it's been very successful. This is a team that, really, in all honesty, outside of missing the playoffs in 2022 and losing in the first round in 2019, outside of those two examples there, it's been a pretty strong run. Western Conference Finals, semifinals, and of course Stanley Cup Final in 2018 and a Stanley Cup win in 2023. So their top goaltender is, of course, Marc-Andre Fleury, a record of 117, 60, and 14, a save percentage of 917. The decision to move on from Marc-Andre Fleury could not have been easy for the team, but it did turn out to be the right one. This is a team that has been fine with the idea of, we will go out and get this player. This is our guy. However, if we feel like that guy we picked up we can upgrade from, we'll upgrade, and we're fine with letting that player go. Pacioretty being an example of that too. We go out, we get our player, and then if we need to upgrade, that player's going to be gone. And when you win the Stanley Cup, it justifies everything. And it means, all right, so they're good. We'll see whether or not this is a team that goes through that again soon. I would think if they don't win the Stanley Cup again this year, that, then there's probably going to be some freedom there to make some moves. Salary cap's going up and all that. And Las Vegas is a pretty spectacular place to live, I would think, if you're a hockey player. Summerlin's right there. Summerlin's a nice little community. And so, I get it. I get why players would want to play there, and I understand too why this team's been pretty darn successful. And there are a lot of hockey fans in Las Vegas, for all the criticism that they get and for all the criticism the NHL gets. But we are into year 7 of this, and there's no sign in sight that this team is not going to get the support. There has been dips in terms of attendance when they're not winning, but I'm pretty sure that paid attendance has stayed high, just people not necessarily occupying their seats at that point. But yeah, the one thing that I do wonder with Vegas is, are they going to be able to get healthy in time for the playoffs? They're going to need to be healthy for the playoffs if they're going to go on a run. This is going to be a tough, tough year for the playoffs. And then the question becomes, if they get a healthy roster, what are the odds of them repeating? I think they're pretty good. The interesting part to me is that when I see people picking who they think is going to win the Stanley Cup, they pick everybody else. I haven't seen very many at all picking Las Vegas. But if Las Vegas wins, people are like, see, I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, the NHL, they set this whole thing up so they'd win it again. And yet those people are not picking them right now. Well, why wouldn't you, if you think the NHL is going to do that, pick them right now? It would make the most sense, especially if you're putting money on the line, which I don't. I never gamble. I don't promote gambling on the site or on my channel. I know there's gambling advertisements that run during my videos before and after and whatnot, but I don't endorse any sort of gambling. Long history there. And it's odd because I go to Las Vegas a lot, and people always ask, why do you go to Las Vegas if you don't gamble? Because I don't gamble. It saves a lot of money not gambling. But can they repeat? That's the gamble that the Las Vegas Golden Knights are going to take come spring, because I don't see any chance of them missing the playoffs. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Can they repeat? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. I forgive you, but go ahead and give it a shot. Thank you so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.